What's up, all you people out there in YouTube land? It's your favorite comedian, Cory Robinson here. Thank you for tuning into my channel. This is a brand new segment I like to call What's Your Issue? Today, what our issue is, college. Or at least my issue is definitely college. It's a scam. It's not like a scam like, Craigslist, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is San Jose State University. We're going to email you this much money and then you'll be a millionaire. Or, it's not a Nigerian scam or anything like that. It's the new American corporate scam. Basically, here's how it works. The old way it used to work, you go to college, you get your education, you get your degree, then you graduate, and then you go off to whatever job you think it was. This is how that you want to do. You want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be an obstetrician, whatever that even means. But if you need to go to college for it. And that's what I used to think. Here's my problem with college. When you look back on what people used to go to college for in America, it was to accomplish the American dream, to get a good job, provide for your family, use your education to be a functioning member of society. But that's not seems to be the case anymore. Case in point, my situation. My mother's a teacher, so I was going to school. I had no choice about that. Even though I was a crappy student, I'm really smart. I just suck at sitting in a room for 6 hours a day. And my attention span doesn't help it, but I decided to go to college because that was the thing to do. I've always wanted to be a comedian. I knew that since I was 11 years old. My mom said, no, you're going to school. So I went to school. And I go to school, and the first thing you notice is just the huge price difference. Like, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to afford to go to school. College costs 600% more than it used to in 1985. Over 11 times more than it cost in 1978. My mom graduated from college in the 60s. Afro, Angela Davis, Black Power, all that good shit. Things were a lot cheaper back then, and also she didn't have to worry about going to war. You lied, but that was the thing. You either went to school or you got shot in Vietnam. So now we're in a new situation where everybody's trying to accomplish that American dream, and that's what seems to be the thing. College is a big business now. It's not about you making money, it's about them making money. And that's what seems to be the problem. Tuition costs too much. When you live on campus, you're paying way more than you would in rent in normal places. Food and board on the campus costs way more than anything. And books, don't get me started on the damn textbooks. I had the same book for 3 years because after the first 2 years, I realized it's the same book. They just add a different chapter every year. So when I borrow that chapter, I'm fine. But the thing is, when you borrow a book, like when you get a book, it's useless after, 3 months. Once you realize you're not going to use the book, you're like, okay, I just won't really mess with it, and at the end of the year, I can take this back. But no, you can't take it back to the bookstore because every year they revise it and come out with a brand new version of the same bullshit with the same book in it that just has one extra case in it. I think I had a marketing book one time, and the only difference was they added Google instead of Yahoo. So that's another bullshit scam right there. Not to mention the fact that your college degree really doesn't carry much weight once you get out of school, because me, like a couple other millions of people, happen to be going to school at the worst time in human history. Not only was there a housing bubble that burst, not only were there 2 wars that went unpaid for that were going on, a lot of my friends didn't come back from, may they rest in peace. A lot of them came back a little messed up, and may they get their shit back together. But we also had an economic collapse due to those 2 wars. So when I got out of school, I had 3 strikes against me. Now we're also in a situation where jobs are at their absolute most greedy they've ever been. Remember in the 80s, there was that movie called Wall Street? Greed is good. Charlie Sheen wasn't exactly on coke, but we're pretty sure he was. Anyway, that was what we were talking about. Like, greed is good, and that seems to be the situation now. But this all happened while I was in school. So when I get out of school, there's no jobs. In fact, the only jobs that are available are the same jobs I would have been able to get if I would have dropped out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm sitting here with a college degree, and I'm trying to sell it on Craigslist. Would anyone on Craigslist like my college degree? It makes a great paperweight, or it's nice on your mantle. Only costs $75,000 just trying to get back what I paid for it. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? So that's the situation I'm in. I actually contemplated whether or not I should have went to prison more than college, because in certain situations, prison's doing a lot better. It's like if I would have sold drugs, I definitely would have had more money than I do now. Also, if I went to prison, I probably could have got a better degree in prison than I could have got from the school that I went to. And it wouldn't have cost me anything. In fact, I would have paid my debt to society when I got out of jail. But that seems to be the situation. I've heard stories of people who are on death row inmates. They're never, ever getting out of prison, but they're in college while in prison to get their master's degree in sociology, psychology, early childhood psychology. Let that one sink in. So things like that, it kind of make you think, why did I spend this money that I don't have? And speaking of money I don't have, I'm about to go into default on my loans. I hope we edit this out too, but like this situation, like it's like, because there's really nowhere for me to go. There's nothing for me to do. I've worked, like in the last 2 years, I've worked as a gym membership counselor, I've worked as a garbage man, I've worked at a restaurant, and I've worked as a temp. So in various different places. All jobs I could have done without even fucking knowing how to read. So the fact that I went to school and I still have to deal with the, minimum wage jobs is maddening. It's absolutely maddening. And I'm not the only one. There's thousands and millions of kids that feel just as bad as I do. There are kids killing themselves because they don't see a future. There are kids that are completely, distressed, stressed out, hopeless over the fact that they're never going to get out of this mountain of debt. The only thing I take solace in the fact is that there's no real regulation on student loans. So anybody that wants a student loan can get a student loan. Nobody checks your background, nobody checks your credit history, nobody checks your financial status or anything like that, because you're insuring children, basically. You're 18 years old, 18 to 21-year-old kids, and they don't really, you don't know, even if you're a super responsible early adult kid, you know what I'm saying? You've been taking care of your family your whole life because, some catastrophic event. You're still immature because you're 18 years old. You're not going to know everything about how the world works and how finances work. So banks are preying on these kids who have no idea. The families aren't really doing too much better. They just want to see little so-and-so be able to say, I was the first person in my family to go to college. Hold up that degree, take that picture. And was that worth $70,000? I don't think so, to be honest with you. I really wish I would have bought a Dodge Viper instead of going to school, because with the Dodge Viper I would have had a lot more fun. I'd probably be looked at with a little more respect. And you can't really wear a college degree around your neck and get laid. But if you walk around with a Dodge Viper, shit happens. But that's the situation it is. And there's a lot of people out there just really trying to figure it out. I went to school, I did my homework, I worked hard, I got my degree, I got my education, and I graduated. Congratulations, now I'm the smartest fucking waiter in this restaurant. I'm so happy. I know what your total's gonna be before you even finish ordering. You know what I'm saying? That's what I get for going to college. Congratulations, now you are the best cashier we've ever had at Marshall's. You are just the student, you are the employee of the month every month. We never have any problem with your drawer. Oh, you want a promotion? Who cares? No, that's not gonna happen. We need you here on the cashier's floor. You can't even get a management job at Marshall's with a degree right now. So, in summation, I don't even know if we covered everything, but to be honest with you, college is not as good of an investment as it used to be. Back in the day when college was affordable and you actually had to get in on being, smart enough and having the right, financial background to get in, I think it was better off, because then you got people that actually wanted to be what they're doing, instead of people that go to school and take, 2,000 units to become, a communications major or underwater basket weaving master or whatever it is they teach you to do. And also, you're a little more driven. But anyway, the money's completely out of whack. What you pay for is not what you get. And honestly, there's better ways to do it. If you want to be a doctor, go to college. If you want to be a lawyer, go to school. But if you want to run a business to a certain degree, you need to go to school. But if you just want to work and you just want to be happy, fuck college. Just get a job, save your money, be a smart person, and you'll thrive. Trust me, because the debt that you will get from this is totally not worth it. And if I could stop you from making a big mistake, I'm glad I could. I'm not trying to tell people not to go to school if that's what you want to be, but I'm telling you right now that you should really know before you invest your future in what could be your economic downfall. And I don't want to be me, and I know I should probably do something with a smile, but that's where I feel. So thank you for tuning in to What's Your Issue? I'm Cory Robinson. We'll see you again next time when you click on my file.
Luckily, the Department of Education